The post-mission briefing room hummed with debriefing discussions until General Williams's voice broke with unexpected emotion. "Hold on, everyone," he commanded, his composed demeanor suddenly faltering. The unassuming woman in regulation fatigues glanced up from her notebook as he spoke 17 words that changed everything. The effect was immediate. The intelligence officer's status report froze mid-sentence. Senior staff officers rotated in their seats, and expressions shifted to recognition throughout the crowded conference room. No one had expected the silent recorder to be acknowledged by name. No one had expected the woman assigned to documentation to be credited with preventing total mission catastrophe. No one had expected the truth. From which city in the world are you watching this video today? If this story captivated you, please consider subscribing. We share powerful stories of unsung heroes every week. The Joint Operations Command briefing facility buzzed with the systematic energy of critical mission analysis and comprehensive after-action assessment. Multiple projection screens cast blue illumination across exhausted faces, displaying operational timelines marked with successful phases and near-disaster moments. The atmosphere carried the aroma of bitter coffee and desert dust from recent field deployments, combined with the intensity that accompanied reviewing life-or-death operational decisions. It was 1900 hours following what should have been a catastrophic failure during Operation Thunderstrike, yet had somehow resulted in unprecedented success against impossible circumstances. Captain Elena Rodriguez sat at her designated recording position, strategically placed in the rear section distant from primary briefing participants. Her auburn hair was secured in standard military regulation, a leather portfolio, and digital tablet, her sole visible equipment. Mid-30s, with perceptive eyes that reflected careful observation rather than leadership aspirations. Her presence moved discreetly among various discussion clusters and operational reviews, while her physical location remained deliberately minimized within the command-heavy briefing atmosphere. To any casual participant, she might have appeared as standard administrative personnel, a recent assignment to record-keeping responsibilities perhaps, or another support soldier tasked with documenting proceedings while maintaining distance from actual operational evaluation. She periodically entered information into her tablet, her efforts systematic and largely unnoticed by the command personnel. Unlike the operational commanders and senior leadership who controlled the briefing environment through their field experience and mission authority, she displayed no obvious indicators of combat deployment experience or tactical credentials. Simply a recording specialist, apparently, with fundamental administrative preparation and a responsibility to document briefing activities while remaining isolated from genuine mission assessment. The operation under review involved the miraculous completion of an extraordinarily dangerous reconnaissance penetration through enemy-controlled territory, recovering vital intelligence while maintaining zero casualties despite overwhelming hostile resistance. The mission had concluded following dramatically revised tactical approaches, primary goals accomplished, personnel extracted, and critical information obtained across numerous target installations. Major Thompson, an experienced special operations leader with extensive combat deployment history, facilitated the comprehensive after-action evaluation with systematic expertise, transitioning between briefing positions and supervising participant contributions throughout the packed facility. Enemy capabilities had exceeded all previous intelligence predictions during the operation. Thompson briefed the assembled personnel, his voice resonating throughout the briefing chamber. Their tactical response to our penetration surpassed existing threat assessments and demanded substantial operational modifications during live execution. General Williams occupied the prominent position at the central briefing configuration, his expression reflecting the burden of command choices that had narrowly prevented complete disaster. A veteran special operations commander with 28 years of military service, he appeared drained yet grateful in his field uniform, as though the complexity of managing multi-unit operations under extreme pressure had emotionally exhausted him during recent operations. Elena observed everything from her isolated rear position, her demeanor betraying nothing. Only her occasional tablet entries suggested emotional investment in the operational discussions. When Major Thompson requested individual unit assessments, participants commenced sharing their experiences regarding critical mission elements and tactical modifications. Elena maintained her rear position, recording the proceedings while various leaders described emergency situations, tactical innovations, and instances where the mission approached complete failure. She sustained her discrete documentation function throughout the developing briefing. Something regarding her placement, consistently present yet never contributing, constantly monitoring yet rarely recognized, had become routine to the standard briefing attendees. The experienced command sergeant major positioned near the central briefing configuration had grown familiar with her attendance across multiple operations. General Williams, commanding and systematic, directed the briefing with thorough attention to lessons acquired and tactical enhancements. The general was recognized for his comprehensive approach to operational evaluation and continuous development. Today, he carried the responsibility of command with obvious relief, his uniform showing the grime of recent forward operations and the strain of missions that had challenged every tactical assumption. As the comprehensive after-action reports progressed, various unit leaders described their operational phases, tactical obstacles encountered, and modifications that had prevented mission catastrophe. Elena continued documenting these narratives, her notebook accumulating detailed observations and tactical annotations. The briefing advanced through established after-action procedures, chronological reconstruction, tactical decision evaluation, and equipment performance review. Each participating unit contributed their perspective regarding critical mission phases, emergency moments, and tactical innovations that had enabled mission completion despite significant challenges. Throughout the discussion, Elena maintained her documentation function, recording the various testimonies while remaining physically and professionally separated from the operational evaluation. Her position in the rear section had become standard during these briefings, a recognizable presence that contributed through documentation rather than direct involvement. Major Thompson coordinated the methodical review of mission phases, ensuring each unit's experience was documented for future tactical development. The operation's complexity had required numerous real-time modifications, tactical innovations, and instantaneous decisions that had prevented potential catastrophe. As individual unit reports continued, the assembled leaders described various crisis situations where tactical circumstances had threatened mission completion and personnel security. Elena documented these testimonies while maintaining her quiet observation function throughout the proceedings. The briefing chamber filled with detailed operational narratives as participants shared their experiences of critical decision moments, tactical modifications, and situations where alternative approaches had become necessary to achieve mission goals despite unexpected enemy capabilities. General Williams listened to each testimony with careful attention, occasionally requesting clarification regarding tactical decisions, equipment performance, and lessons acquired that would influence future operations. His concentration remained on understanding how the mission had succeeded despite significant obstacles. As the after-action evaluation progressed through various operational phases, Elena continued her documentation responsibilities, recording the tactical discussions while maintaining her position in the rear section of the briefing chamber. The comprehensive mission review covered multiple critical situations where tactical circumstances had required immediate modification, innovative solutions, and coordinated responses that had prevented potential mission failure and personnel casualties. Throughout these discussions, various leaders credited successful tactical innovations, equipment adaptations, and coordination improvements that had enabled mission completion, despite significant obstacles and unexpected enemy resistance. Major Thompson synthesized the various unit reports into comprehensive lessons learned, tactical improvements, and operational recommendations that would enhance future mission planning and execution capabilities. As the formal after-action reports concluded, General Williams prepared to summarize the mission evaluation and provide his command assessment of operational performance and tactical lessons learned. The briefing chamber had grown silent as participants anticipated the general's final evaluation of the mission, tactical performance, and strategic implications of the intelligence gathered during the operation. General Williams stood at the front of the briefing chamber, his expression carrying both relief at mission success and understanding of how closely the operation had approached catastrophic failure. He began his summary evaluation of the mission, describing the tactical challenges, critical decisions, and successful modifications that had enabled objective completion despite significant obstacles and enemy resistance. As General Williams continued his assessment, he referenced specific tactical innovations, equipment modifications, and coordination improvements that had been essential to mission success during various crisis situations. The general's evaluation covered multiple aspects of operational performance, lessons learned, and tactical recommendations that would influence future mission planning and execution procedures. As he progressed through his comprehensive mission assessment, General Williams began acknowledging specific contributions, tactical innovations, and critical decisions that had prevented mission failure during various crisis situations. His acknowledgments covered various unit performances, individual contributions, and tactical modifications that had been fundamental to achieving mission objectives despite significant challenges and unexpected enemy capabilities. Throughout his evaluation, the general referenced specific moments where tactical innovation, equipment adaptation, and coordination improvements had prevented potential catastrophe during critical mission phases. As General Williams approached the conclusion of his mission assessment, he paused in his remarks and looked up from his briefing materials with an expression of profound recognition. The briefing chamber fell completely silent as the general's demeanor shifted from analytical evaluation to personal acknowledgement, his voice carrying emotional weight that surprised the assembled participants. General Williams looked directly toward the rear section of the briefing chamber where Elena sat with her tablet, his expression carrying recognition and gratitude that transformed the entire atmosphere of the briefing. Before I conclude this after-action evaluation, General Williams announced, his voice steady but filled with emotion. There's something everyone in this chamber needs to understand about how this mission actually succeeded. The briefing chamber remained absolutely silent as participants turned to follow the general's gaze toward the rear section where Elena sat, suddenly aware that something significant was about to be revealed. The tactical innovations, equipment adaptations, and coordination improvements that saved this mission didn't originate from command decisions during the operation, General Williams continued, his voice growing stronger. They came from comprehensive operational analysis and tactical recommendations that were provided to me 72 hours before mission execution. Elena looked up from her tablet, her expression showing quiet recognition as the general continued his unexpected acknowledgement, while the assembled participants began to understand the significance of his remarks. The woman sitting in the rear section of this briefing chamber, who you've observed documenting our discussions for months, is not an administrative specialist, General Williams announced, his voice carrying across the silent room. She is Colonel Elena Rodriguez, formerly the principal tactical analyst for the Joint Chiefs of Staff Special Operations Assessment Division. The effect was immediate and electric. Major Thompson's briefing materials nearly slipped from his grasp. Several unit leaders physically straightened in their chairs as if receiving critical operational intelligence. The experienced command sergeant major's expression showed complete recognition. The entire briefing chamber erupted in controlled amazement as understanding dawned across various faces. Complete silence returned as participants processed the revelation, some looking confused by the sudden identity disclosure, others appearing shocked by the authority they had unknowingly been in the presence of, and a few, those who grasped the full significance, seemed stunned by the implications. General Williams continued, his voice now carrying the full weight of command recognition. Colonel Rodriguez provided me with a comprehensive tactical analysis that identified every critical vulnerability we encountered during this mission. Her recommendations included the equipment adaptations, route modifications, and tactical alternatives that prevented this operation from becoming a complete disaster. Elena remained seated, her tablet closed, as the general continued his acknowledgement while the entire briefing chamber focused on her with newfound understanding and respect. She has been operating under administrative cover for the past 22 months, conducting tactical analysis and operational assessment while maintaining the appearance of routine documentation responsibilities, General Williams explained. Her analysis prevented casualties that would have resulted from the tactical approaches we originally planned. Major Thompson approached the front of the briefing chamber. Sir, request permission to address the briefing participants. General Williams nodded. Colonel Rodriguez, I recognize you now. You were the tactical analyst who developed the asymmetric warfare assessment protocols that revolutionized joint operations planning 6 years ago. The experienced command sergeant major stood and rendered a formal salute toward Elena. Ma'am, I served under tactical protocols you developed during Operation Iraqi Freedom. Your analysis saved lives across multiple deployments. Other participants began to recognize the significance of Elena's presence, with several officers acknowledging tactical innovations and operational improvements they had implemented based on her previous analytical work. General Williams continued his recognition. The tactical modifications you witnessed during this mission, the equipment adaptations that proved critical, and the coordination improvements that prevented failure, all of these originated from Colonel Rodriguez's pre-mission analysis. More importantly, the general added, she identified that our original mission planning was based on compromised intelligence that would have led our teams directly into prepared enemy positions. Her analysis revealed that our operational security had been systematically compromised through contractor networks. Elena finally stood from her rear position, her military bearing now evident as she addressed the briefing chamber. General Williams asked me to maintain administrative cover while conducting a comprehensive security assessment of our operational planning processes. We discovered that enemy forces had detailed advanced knowledge of our standard tactical approaches. She moved to the front of the briefing chamber, her demeanor transformed from quiet observer to acknowledged expert. The tactical modifications that enabled mission success were designed to counter enemy preparations based on leaked American operational intelligence. The equipment adaptations addressed specific vulnerabilities they were prepared to exploit. General Williams continued the revelation. Colonel Rodriguez has spent the past 22 months documenting systematic intelligence compromises that have affected multiple joint operations. Her analysis revealed that our tactical planning was being systematically leaked to enemy forces through defense contracting networks. The mission we just completed successfully was specifically designed to test whether our operational security improvements were effective, he explained. The tactical innovations we implemented were based on Colonel Rodriguez's assessment of how to conduct operations without relying on compromised planning processes. Major Thompson approached Elena directly. Ma'am, the tactical modifications that saved my unit during the extraction phase, those were based on your analysis? Yes, Elena replied. Your original extraction plan would have placed your unit in a prepared ambush zone. The route adaptations I recommended avoided enemy positions. They had established based on leaked intelligence about our standard extraction procedures. The briefing chamber filled with recognition as various unit leaders realized how their tactical successes during the mission had been enabled by Elena's hidden analytical work and operational security improvements. General Williams addressed the entire briefing chamber. Colonel Rodriguez identified that our previous mission failures weren't due to tactical inadequacies or equipment limitations. They were caused by systematic intelligence leaks that provided enemy forces with detailed advanced knowledge of our operational plans. The documentation she has maintained during these briefings wasn't administrative record-keeping, he continued. She was conducting comprehensive security analysis to identify which personnel and processes were compromised by enemy intelligence operations. Elena activated a secured laptop and displayed her analytical findings for the briefing participants. These are the intelligence compromise patterns I identified during the past 22 months. Enemy forces have been receiving detailed advance information about our operational planning through specific contractor networks and communication channels. The displays showed systematic correlations between mission planning processes and enemy tactical preparations that had been invisible until Elena's comprehensive analysis revealed the patterns of intelligence compromise. The tactical innovations you implemented during this mission were designed to operate independently of compromised planning systems, she explained. Every equipment adaptation, route modification, and coordination improvement was intended to counter enemy preparations based on leaked intelligence. General Williams provided additional context. Colonel Rodriguez's analysis revealed that our operational failures weren't random tactical challenges. They were the result of systematic intelligence warfare designed to defeat American joint operations through advanced knowledge of our capabilities and procedures. The mission we just completed proved that we can conduct successful operations when we implement proper operational security and avoid compromised planning processes, he continued. But it also confirmed that our previous approaches were systematically compromised by enemy intelligence operations. As the briefing concluded, various participants approached Elena to acknowledge her contributions and express gratitude for tactical innovations that had directly prevented casualties during their specific mission phases. The command sergeant major presented Elena with mission challenge coins from multiple units whose tactical operations had been enhanced by her analytical work and security improvements over the previous months. Major Thompson formally thanked Elena for the tactical analysis that had prevented his unit from walking into prepared enemy positions during the most dangerous phase of the extraction operation. General Williams concluded the briefing by announcing that Colonel Rodriguez would resume her official analytical role and continue developing operational security improvements to prevent future intelligence compromises. The success of this mission demonstrated that American joint operations can achieve tactical superiority when we operate with proper security and accurate intelligence, he announced. Colonel Rodriguez will lead the development of new operational protocols that prevent enemy forces from obtaining advanced knowledge of our tactical capabilities. As the briefing chamber cleared, participants continued approaching Elena to acknowledge her contributions and discuss how her analytical work had enhanced their operational effectiveness during various mission phases. The transformation from quiet note-taker to acknowledged tactical expert represented not just personal recognition, but validation of the critical importance of operational security analysis in preventing intelligence compromises that had been costing American lives. General Williams's final remarks emphasized that the mission's success had been enabled by Elena's hidden analytical work, but also revealed the broader challenge of conducting operations in an environment where enemy forces had systematic access to American tactical planning. The briefing concluded with restored confidence in American tactical capabilities, but also with sobering recognition of the ongoing intelligence warfare challenges that required continuous vigilance and security improvements to protect operational effectiveness. As participants departed, many continued discussing the implications of Elena's revelations and the tactical innovations that would enhance future operational security and mission success rates. The general's unexpected recognition had transformed understanding of not just the recent mission's success, but the broader challenges facing American joint operations in an environment of systematic intelligence compromise and the critical importance of analytical expertise in developing effective countermeasures. Elena's transition from hidden analyst to acknowledged expert represented both personal vindication and institutional recognition of the specialized capabilities required to maintain American tactical superiority against sophisticated enemy intelligence operations. The mission briefing that had begun as routine after-action analysis had become a comprehensive revelation of intelligence warfare challenges and the analytical expertise required to develop effective operational security measures. General Williams's acknowledgement of Elena's contributions represented broader recognition that successful joint operations required not just tactical excellence, but also sophisticated analytical capabilities to identify and counter systematic intelligence compromises that threatened American operational effectiveness. The afternoon shadows lengthened through the briefing chamber windows as the final participants departed, each carrying renewed understanding of how their recent mission had truly succeeded. Elena remained at the front of the chamber, surrounded by tactical displays that now showed her comprehensive analysis rather than routine operational summaries. Major Thompson approached her one final time. "Ma'am, there's something I need to understand. The emergency situations we experienced during infiltration, you anticipated exactly what was going to happen, didn't you?" Elena nodded gravely. Every ambush position, every prepared kill zone, every tactical countermeasure they had ready. The intelligence leaks were so systematic that I could predict their responses with remarkable accuracy. That's what made it possible to develop effective countermeasures. The equipment adaptations we received at the last minute, the route changes that seemed arbitrary, those weren't standard operational adjustments. Major Thompson continued, understanding crystallizing in his expression. "No," Elena confirmed. "They were specific responses to enemy preparations based on leaked intelligence. Each adaptation addressed a particular vulnerability that would have been exploited if we had followed our original tactical plans." General Williams, who had been observing the exchange, stepped forward. Colonel Rodriguez spent months identifying exactly how our operational planning was being compromised. She traced the intelligence leaks through multiple contractor networks and communication channels. The pattern was sophisticated, Elena explained. Enemy forces weren't just receiving random intelligence about our operations. They were getting detailed tactical plans, equipment specifications, and operational timelines that allowed them to prepare comprehensive countermeasures. The command sergeant major, still processing the full implications of the revelation, addressed Elena directly. Ma'am, the tactical innovations you developed. How many other operations have benefited from your analysis? Over the past 22 months, 23 different missions received tactical adaptations based on my security assessments, Elena replied. The success rates improved dramatically once we began implementing operational security protocols that bypassed compromised planning channels. General Williams added context. Before Colonel Rodriguez began her analysis, our mission success rates were declining consistently. Enemy forces seemed to anticipate our tactical approaches with impossible accuracy. We were losing the element of surprise that had always been fundamental to joint operations effectiveness. The breakthrough came when I realized the intelligence compromises weren't random security failures, Elena continued. They were part of a coordinated intelligence warfare campaign designed specifically to defeat American joint operations through systematic information gathering and tactical prediction. Major Thompson studied the tactical displays showing Elena's analysis. The enemy preparations we encountered weren't reactive measures. They were proactive defensive positions based on advanced knowledge of our exact operational plans. Correct, Elena confirmed. Enemy forces were constructing defensive positions, pre-positioning equipment, and coordinating tactical responses based on detailed intelligence about our capabilities, routes, and operational objectives. The implications of systematic intelligence compromise extended beyond individual mission planning to encompass fundamental questions about operational security and the protection of American tactical advantages in an increasingly sophisticated threat environment. General Williams addressed the broader strategic context. What Colonel Rodriguez discovered represents a new form of warfare. Enemy forces are using intelligence gathering and information warfare to neutralize our tactical superiority without engaging in direct conventional combat. The traditional approaches to operational security were designed for different threat models, Elena explained. We were protecting against random intelligence gathering, not systematic intelligence warfare campaigns designed to predict and counter our operational capabilities. The development of new operational security protocols required comprehensive understanding of how intelligence compromises occurred, which communication channels were vulnerable, and how enemy forces processed American tactical intelligence to develop effective countermeasures. Moving forward, we're implementing compartmentalized planning processes that prevent enemy forces from obtaining comprehensive operational intelligence, General Williams announced. Colonel Rodriguez will lead the development of these new security protocols. The recognition of Elena's contributions represented acknowledgement not just of individual analytical expertise, but of the critical importance of adapting American operational approaches to address evolving intelligence warfare threats. As the afternoon progressed toward evening, the briefing chamber gradually returned to routine administrative use, but the understanding of operational security challenges and the need for continuous analytical vigilance remained with all participants. The mission that had begun as a test of tactical innovations had become a comprehensive validation of new approaches to operational security and intelligence protection in an environment of sophisticated enemy intelligence operations. Elena's transformation from hidden analyst to acknowledged expert represented institutional recognition that maintaining American tactical superiority required not just operational excellence, but sophisticated understanding of intelligence warfare and systematic security assessment capabilities. The success of recent operations demonstrated that American joint operations could maintain their tactical effectiveness when supported by proper analytical assessment and operational security protocols designed to address contemporary intelligence warfare challenges. General Williams's decision to reveal Elena's hidden role represented confidence that American forces could adapt to evolving threat environments through analytical innovation and comprehensive security improvements rather than relying solely on traditional tactical approaches. The briefing concluded with renewed understanding of both the challenges facing American joint operations and the analytical capabilities required to maintain tactical superiority in an environment of continuous intelligence warfare and systematic enemy efforts to compromise operational effectiveness. As evening approached, the Joint Operations Command settled into its routine defensive posture, but with enhanced appreciation for the analytical work that enabled successful operations and the ongoing vigilance required to maintain operational security against sophisticated intelligence warfare threats. The day's revelations had transformed understanding of recent mission success from tactical excellence to comprehensive analytical preparation, demonstrating the evolving nature of joint operations and the specialized expertise required to maintain American tactical advantages. Elena's acknowledgement represented both personal vindication and institutional commitment to developing the analytical capabilities necessary to counter systematic intelligence warfare and protect American operational effectiveness in increasingly complex threat environments. The general's recognition had elevated understanding of successful mission planning from tactical innovation to comprehensive security analysis, emphasizing the critical importance of protecting American operational intelligence while maintaining tactical superiority against sophisticated enemy intelligence operations. As the Joint Operations Command transitioned to evening operations, the impact of Elena's analytical work continued to influence operational planning and security protocols, ensuring that future missions would benefit from enhanced protection against intelligence compromise and systematic enemy countermeasures. The transformation of a routine after-action briefing into comprehensive revelation of intelligence warfare challenges represented the evolving nature of American joint operations and the analytical expertise required to maintain tactical effectiveness in an environment of continuous threat adaptation and systematic security challenges.